Hi everyone, myself I am Dr. Parves Mohammed, working as an Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering, Marri Reddy Institute of Technology and Management, Dundigal, Hyderabad. So today I am going to explain about problem solving using C language concept for the basic structure of C programming. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about introduction concept of C programming. Introduction concept of C programming is a part of our problem solving approach. So here, C language generally, it is a general purpose programming language where C helps to learn any type of a code. That code which helps to develop the program. A program can be implemented with the basic implementations of C concepts. The C concepts and the basic structure of C program, that all the things that we can learn in the C programming concept. Here in today's session, we are going to discuss the general purpose programming approach, introduction part of C programming, how to develop a C program, then what are the algorithmic concepts, what are the basic implementation of C structure, okay, how to design an algorithm. Those things we are going to discuss in today's session, right? So as we know that the C language is one of the most popular programming language, and this particular programming language helps us to develop a C code. While we are developing the C code, okay, here we will follow the basic notations, the basic concepts like operators, input output statements, conditional statements, and loop structures, switch case structure, functions, arrays. Those are all the concepts. That concepts helps us to develop a C program. Meanwhile, in today's session, we are going to discuss the basic part, how this C language came into existence, what are the programming languages we have, and how we are going to write a code in the C. That we are going to learn in the today's session. So here, as you know that the C language is a general purpose programming language and which was invented in the year of 1972 by Dennis Ritchie. So before the invention of C language, we have some programming languages. All that programming language having some few drawbacks. So to overcome the drawbacks of the old programming languages, the Dennis Ritchie has invented a new programming language that is called C programming language. In the beginning, the name called as letter C, but slowly after implementation, it known as programming in C. Okay. So before the programming language, before the C language, we have COBOL language, we have BASIC, BASIC, BASIC. It is a beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code. Okay. So it is the basic programming language. Same like this, we have algorithmic language, ALGOL, we have Fortran, formula translator language, we have COBOL, it's a common business oriented language, we have CPL, it's a combined programming language, we have BCPL, it's a basic combined programming language, then we have B language, it is called Borland C also, B language. These are all the basic programming, old programming languages. These programming languages were invented by different types of authors. Okay, so before the C invention, there are some authors, they formed as an international committee and they invented some programming language. After their invention, we have so many drawbacks. To overcome the drawbacks of the old programming language, again the different other type of author like Keen Thompson, Martin Richard, these are all the some other programming language authors. They also have invented some programming language like ALGOL, CPL, BCPL. But every language has a few drawbacks. Before the invention of C language, every language has a specific drawbacks. To overcome the drawbacks of that programming language, Dennis Ritchie has invented a C language. So before the invention of C language, he has taken a research of old programming language and he have taken the major concepts of that old programming language. Whatever the old programming languages are there, he has taken all the major concepts of that old programming language, and he started research. Okay, so while he is researching, he invented C language, but he has taken the basic mathematical notations and he converted that mathematical notations into the program code. After the implementation of that program code, okay, so he again go through with the machine code also, and he compiled that program, how the program is going on, how the execution part is going on. After a few implementations, after a few changes, finally he come to the conclusion that this was the programming language, where this language can be helpful to perform all types of mathematical operations, scientific operations, engineering operations, such any type of operation that it can be performed. So after the invention of C language by Dennis Ritchie in the year of 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratories, USA. So he was invented the C language in the year of 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratories, USA. So after the invention of C language, okay, the AT&T and as well as ANSI has standardized that this was the programming language where it will be helpful to develop any type of program code. So ANSI has also supported, ANSI standardized the C language, that this language is helpful to perform all types of mathematical operations, engineering operations, scientific operations and other operations. So because of this reason, finally the C language came into the existence. Okay, so these are all the things which were happened before the invention of the C language. These are all the things which were happened before the invention, right? So generally, now we can think that what will be a program. How he was invented the program? He said that the program is one of the basic instruction. It was the basic instruction, or you can say set of instructions, some group of instructions, a group of instructions that you have to process in a machine. So with that, what happens? The machine will analysis and it will finalize whether your code is correct or not. If it is the code was in the good form, then you will get the true result. If the code was not written properly, if the code was not compiled properly, if the code has any error, any mistake, then we will get a false result. So true result will be true or result will be false. Maybe it is a true or maybe it is a false. But what we have to do is the source code, whatever the program you are typing, the source code that should be implemented in a proper form. So how we have to implement? By using the syntaxes and by using certain concepts, by using certain mathematical notations and by using certain syntax program approach, algorithmic approach. By using that, we have to frame a code. That framing of a code is called set of instructions. Usually if you refer the textbook, there they will give the definition like program is a set of instructions, or program is a step-by-step instructions which is used to solve a particular problem, like that they will give. So the intention of the definition is you are arranging the code in a specific file and the code should be written in a proper form. It should follow a specific syntax. By following the instructions, by following that particular flow chart or the syntax or the particular proforma, we are going to run or we are going to execute that code in the machine language. That machine language will analyze and the code will be implemented into the machine, and then it will confirm the result, that whether your result is true, whether your program is true or whether your program is false. So this set of instruction is called a program. It is a program. What we have to do in this program, I told you just now, the statements, the conditional statements or any statement, input output statements, some things, some instructions we will arrange in a specific order. Some instructions we will put in the specific format and that instructions will process. Okay, depends on the processing. Maybe you will get true result or maybe you will get false result. But what you have to do is all the set of instructions that should be written in a file, and that file program should be compiled. While the program is compiling, you may get some errors. If you got any error, again you have to go back to the source code, you have to rectify the source code. If you didn't got any error, then you can run the program and you can see the output. So while you are executing the program, the set of instructions are arranged in a proper form. As per the syntax, they have to be arranged. Then only we can say that it is a program, and that program can be processed, can be compiled, and it will give the result to the user in the exact form. Okay, so here in the example, I wrote here printf welcome hello world, welcome to C, or hello world, like that we can return. Whenever we return a statement, like printf is a statement, so in this particular printf statement, I wrote some message. Now what happened is, the message is going to be processed, the machine code is going to accept that message, and that result you will get on the screen. That is the meaning of the set of instructions. This was the example statement. It is an example statement which represents a hello world. This message you will get in the output while you are executing the program. The same message, whatever we entered here in the printf statement, this message information you will get in the output. Now question starts, why we have to learn this C? Why we don't have any other programming language? Why exactly we have to go through with C language only? That question may raise. So here the answer is, C is the mother of all programming languages. That I can say. Here the C is the mother of all programming languages. Whatever the programming languages are there, for that all other programming languages, C is the mother of that C language. Like example, for example, a student who is having the knowledge of C, if you have the knowledge of C, then you can learn C++, then you can learn Java programming language, then you can learn Python programming language, then you can learn any type of programming language. So to learn any type of programming language, C is the base. So that's why here we say that C is the mother of all other programming languages. Clear? So later, like here it is given, later like Java, C++, PHP, JavaScript and other programming languages were invented. But for that, before going to learn any type of other programming language, C is the base. So a person who want to understand the fundamental concepts of C programming, then the person should ensure that all the programming concepts, he have to go through with all the programming concepts. Along with that, he can build a program. That program can be implemented in the any type of programming language, like for example any type of standard software, not programming language, any type of standard software. Like for example, you have TC, turbo compiler, there our program is going to be compiled. Then we have TCC, turbo C compiler. Okay, then we have online compilers also, like program is C, like that online compilers are there. Then we have putty software. So we have different types of softwares where it helps us to develop the code. For all that softwares, operating system is the mediator. After operating system is the a particular operating system is a particular specific software which helps to run all these programming languages. So now if you are writing a C program, and if you are developing the C program by using a specific software, like for example you have used turbo compiler, TC. So turbo compiler helps what? The turbo compiler helps us to develop the C program. For example, here this is a program. So in this program, here I gave the program name as x1.c. So my program is going to be compiled with this specific file name like x1.c, and this is the source code. This code is the source code, and the entire code is going to be converted into the machine language, and here it is going to be processed in the machine language. Again the code will come back to the normal English language, and the data will be displayed as a result on the screen. That is called output of that program. First we are entering the source code, our program is going to be inputted. Okay, so the entire source code is going to be converted or processed it in the machine language. There the translators helps us to convert the data from one programming language to another programming language. So the translators, Turbo C compilers is the one type of translators which helps us to translate the program from source code to machine code. Now your program was entered in the source program, your program was converted into the machine code. There it checked each and every line. Okay, then after that the entire code will come back to the normal English language, and that will be displayed as the result of the output of that program, that will be displayed on the screen. So this entire process will be happened with the help of operating system. Why I am saying all these things means, here we have a operating system. This operating system which helps us to communicate between user and computer. Here user is there and there the system was there. So inside the system your program is going to be processed. Your program data is going to be converted into machine language. It was processed. So the entire things can be happened with the help of operating system. Operating system helps us to perform all these things. So our C program, okay, our C program that can be processed in the particular software along with the operating system, right? So next, here we have the structure of C program. Meanwhile, before going to implement the structure of C program, I will say here one concept that is called translators. Usually here what happens is, translators are used to translate the program from one language to another language. From one language to another language. You have written the program in simple English language and that program will be converted into the machine language. There it was processed and again the code will come back to the normal English language and that will be displayed on the screen. So here translators will play an important role. While you are writing the program in C, the translators will play an important role. So here we have two types of translators. They called TC, Turbo Compiler, and the second one is a TCC, Turbo C Compiler. Turbo Compiler, Turbo C Compiler. Turbo Compiler used to convert the program, line by line. Okay, it helps us to perform C language. The Turbo C Compiler, TCC, they were also helped to convert the program line by line, but they meant for only C++. So in the case of Turbo Compiler and Turbo C Compiler, these two compilers are implemented as compilers. They are the compilers. They belongs to compilers family. Here we have two types, interpreters. Interpreters are there and compilers are there. Interpreters, they will convert the program, okay, just a specific particular line by line. Whereas a specific line is there, that particular line is going to be converted and it helps give you the message that this many errors are there in this line, then again another line. Such this way the interpreters can be convert the program line by line. Okay, example for this interpreters is COBOL, or we can go for Python also. That is for interpreters. When you comes to compilers, the compilers TC, Turbo Compiler, and Turbo C Compiler. The Turbo and Turbo C compilers, both the compilers used to convert the entire program at a time. If you click on compiling option, if you click on run button in the online compiler, or if you click on compiling option, immediately the entire program is going to be converted into the machine language. Whereas in the interpreters, line by line it is going to be converted. So we have interpreters and we have compilers. Interpreters convert the program line by line, whereas compilers convert the entire program as at one time. The example for our types for compilers are Turbo Compiler, Turbo C Compiler. This Turbo Compiler is for C language and Turbo C Compiler is for C++. Clear? So this is about the translators. Translators will play an important role for conversion of the program from one language to another language. Now here on the screen, we have a basic structure of C program. Here I have a basic structure of C program. If you look after this table, here we said that this is the basic implementation of a code where the program can be written and the program can be compiled and the program can be get output. So the basic structure, if you look after the basic structure of program, first we have to declare a header part. That header part helps us to declare a specific header file along with the preprocessor directory. The hash include stdio.h is the header part of the program. Then here integer main is there, or you can write void main. Void is given in the bracket, but you can write here void main. This was the main function. This main function which helps us to run the entire code from starting brace to ending brace. Clear? From this starting brace to ending brace, this is called the body of the program. It is the entire body of the program. In this body of the program, you can write statements, you can write operators, you can write condition statements, you can execute, you can write anything between starting brace to ending brace. Okay, so see here one example I will give. Here I am writing hash include stdio.h is a header file for C language, and then I am writing here void main. Okay, so after void main, I am giving here starting brace and ending brace. From this starting brace to ending brace, this area is called a body of the program. This area is called a body of the program. Now this body of the program, okay, this body of the program has two parts. It's divided into two categories. The first part is called a declaration part, and the second part is called a executable part. Declaration part and a executable part. In this declaration part, the entire data types, okay, and the variables, okay, and the other things which are belongs to the declaration that can be declared in this part, this area. This is called a declaration part. And in the executable part, all printf, scanf statements, operators, condition statements, and other things that can be declared in the executable part. So how our program that has two parts, declaration part and executable part. This is the body of the program. The body represents that the declaration of the data types and variables, and the down part that is called executable part, all input output statements, condition statements, operators, and member functions. Okay, so any other type of things that we can declare in the executable part. Okay, meanwhile here hash, I will give a brief information related to this program. Okay, so here hash is there. Individually I will tell you what is the meaning of hash and what is the meaning of main, everything. So here we start the program with hash include stdio.h. Here in this hash include stdio.h, here just you see here, if you start your program with hash include, this hash is called special symbol. It's a special symbol. Then include is called, it's a preprocessor directory. It is a preprocessor directory. And then we have stdio.h. It is a header file. stdio.h is a header file. The full form of stdio.h is standard input output dot header file. Standard input output dot header file, that is a stdio.h. Then here we have void main. Void main is the main function. Void main helps us to return the main function, the entire function for that program, that is called as the void main, that can be declared as a main function. And as I told you just now, the starting brace to ending brace is the body of the program. That body of the program has declaration part and a executable part, two parts, declaration part and a executable part. Clear? So this is about the structure of the C program. How we have to write a structure of the C program and how we have to implement the C program code. That's the information related to this slide. Then what are the applications? What are the applications, major applications of that C program? So what types of applications we have means, if you see, as I told you just now, programming language, to develop any type of other programs, first a student should know about the C program code. C is the mother of all other programming languages. So here, since in the early days, the very few applications are developed in the C language, then after that, let us see the whatever the program code was implemented, all the things, all the concepts which are applicable in the C language, which helps us to the operating system, which helps us with the embedded system, and here game engines to develop any type of game, to develop any type of software code, to develop any type of a specific code. So C helps. Okay, here I gave the example. C applied for development of database engines. C developed for compiling, assembling, and interpretation, and it helps us to game engine and to perform any type of other operations. C will be helpful. Now, the next one is timeline, the various versions, various implementations of that C language. See, if you look after this diagram, it was the latest diagram that what I have implementing here. In the year of 1972, C lang was invented. Okay, that is called as the C lang was development, which was done in the year of 1972 by Dennis Ritchie at AT&T Bell Laboratories, USA. That we know. After that, in the year of 1978, first edition of C programming language, the starting edition of C programming language, which was developed in the year of 1978. Most of the students, they know that, most of the people, they know that C was invented in the year of 1972 by Dennis Ritchie. But there are some changes which are occurred in the development. In the year of 1978, first edition which was came into the existence for the C program code. And in the year of 1978, you see here, the 1978 ANSIC. ANSIC is the American National Standard for Institute for Communicate. This institute has adopted the standardization of the C language, and ANSI C was implemented in the year of 1978. Then in the year of 1990, ISO certification was given for the internally quality assurance purpose. So the ISO certification, ISO standardization, which was done late in the year of 1990s. Then in the 1999, introduction to new features with the help of functions, with the help of other concepts like functions, arrays, pointers, structures, unions. This type of new implementations were came into the research, that is in the year of 1999. Okay, then in the year of 2011, added most of the standard programming languages with Android and Unicode support. The Android and Unicode support, which was invented in the year of 2011. First, initially C was invented in the year of 1972, that is okay. After that, rapidly some changes occurred in the programming code, and this C program code, which was given a boost to other developments, like that was happened in the year of 2011. There in the year of 2011, added multi-thread support and improved Unicode statements. It improved a Unicode support. Unicode is a one type of code which helps us to develop different types of multi-thread applications, and that was implemented in the year of 2011. Okay, then after that, in the year of 2017, focus on bug fixes and other improvements. To focus on different types of other improvements, it was again rapidly changed. That is called C17, 2017 year, that changes were occurred. And recently in the year of 2023, the refined existing figures continued with the improvements of bugs that were fixed and developed in the year of 2023. These are all the timelines. These are all the different types of timeline versions of the C programming. But as I told you earlier that C was invented in the year of 1972. That was the basic invention, birth of C language. Okay, so if you observe any textbook, or if you refer any notes, if you look after any type of material, there they will give that C lang was invented in the year of 1972 by Dennis Ritchie at AT&T Bell Laboratories, USA. But as I told you just now, these are all the timeline versions. Timeline versions, how like we have updated versions, same like that timeline versions of the C programming language. Next, we will see a programming paradigm, a programming structure, a programming implementation, how we have to implement. If you see this one, programming paradigm, that is have two types, imperative structure and a declaration of the structure, that is called declarative structure. In the imperative structure, we have procedural oriented language, object oriented language. Two types of languages are there, that are the imperative structure. And in the declarative structure, we have functional declarations and logical declarations. Okay, so here in the procedural approach, imperative procedural approach, C, basics of C and Fortran, three languages are there. But in the object oriented approach, there this approach has only C++ and Java programming language. So that was the OOPS concept. That was the OOPS concepts which are related to C++ and Java. And in the functional approach, we have schema and other type of approach. And in the logical approach, we have data log and other types of logical approaches. Next, the time for comparison between procedure oriented programming system and object oriented programming system. Okay, so in the procedure oriented programming and object oriented programming system, POP and OOP, we have procedure oriented programming system and we have object oriented programming system. In the procedure oriented programming system, the program is divided into different types of functions, whereas in object oriented programming, the program is divided into classes and objects. We have OOPS concept, that OOPS concepts have different types of classes and objects, and the procedure oriented programming system have the emphasis on doing different types of things, whereas object oriented system which is focuses on purely program data. And here third point, poor modeling for real world applications, here strong modeling for the real world applications. It is not easy to maintain the project and complexity of the program. Here the object oriented programming system, OOPS, it is a very easy to maintain two complex programs with the help of different types of concepts. And the fifth point, provides poor data quality in the C programming. That means comparing to the C language, C++ has some more benefits. We have more advantageable benefits comparing to C and C++. It is not existence with the programming language, that is the sixth point, and in the object oriented programming system, it is highly extensive. It is highly extensible programming language. The product quality is different in the C and C++, and C do not support any type of new data type, where C++ supports new data type, where we have a user defined data types. The new user defined data types that can be declared in the program, C++ program. Unit of programming in functions, and here also unit of programming with functions and classes. And the example for procedure oriented programming system is Pascal, C language, BASIC and Fortran. As I told you, we have BASIC language, COBOL language, Fortran language, ALGOL language, Similar 60 language, CPL language, BCPL language. So from that list of old programming languages, the Pascal and Fortran and BASIC, these three are the members which are belongs to the procedure oriented programming language. Whereas in object oriented programming language, we have C++ and Java. The basic object oriented approaches are C++ is there, and we have Java programming approach. Next, now we will look after about algorithm. Okay, because before going to develop a C code, the mathematical notation should be written, and that mathematical notation that can be applied with the help of algorithm. So we should know, we have to know about an algorithm. So generally what will be an algorithm means, algorithm is a step-by-step instructions which is used to solve a particular problem. So if the problem was given, for that problem we are going to solve the step-by-step instructions. Here we have some basic properties of the algorithm, that is finiteness of the algorithm, definedness of the algorithm, input and output. Because to start every algorithm, the step one will be start, and the last step will be stop or end, that is called step n. Step 1 and step n. Step 1 is the beginning of the algorithm, and nth step, last step, is the end of the algorithm. So we begin the algorithm with start and we end the algorithm with stop. So an algorithm that can be identified, that algorithm can be understand, to develop a specific program. And its the effectiveness is also there in the programming. If you have an algorithm code, then that program will be somewhat effective. Without algorithm also you can develop a program, but comparing to without algorithm, with algorithm will be more efficient. It has a more effectiveness. Okay, that's the reason why we will learn about algorithms also. Here you see the example of an algorithm. Here I gave a question that write an algorithm to add two numbers. So in this example, clearly I have given that step 1 start, step 2 declaration of two numbers, and here step 3 add the two numbers or read the two numbers, step 4 add the two number. Like for example, c is equal to a plus b, or you can say that sum is equal to number 1 plus number 2, two numbers. We are performing addition of two numbers. While you are performing the addition of two numbers, we are writing this code in a step-by-step manner. So here step 4 sum is given, step 5 display the result or display sum, and last step, you see last step, starting step I have given start, and the last step we have given as the stop. Start and stop is the basic notations structure of that specific algorithm. So our algorithm that is written in the start and stop in the first and last step. This was the example for that algorithm. Second example I have given, that is a write an algorithm to check whether the given number is even number or not. So to identify whether the given number is even number or not, here I gave the steps like this: step 1 start, and step 2 declare, read the number from the user and divide the number. You divide the number with a specific value, and that remainder should come 0. That is step 4. If remainder comes 0, print even number. If remainder did not came 0, if any other number came, then we have to print as odd number. And the final step is stop. This was the start and stop of the algorithm. That for the algorithm 2, example for algorithmic approach to find the even and odd number. Here we have some other examples. Write an algorithm to convert the forensic Celsius, where we are going to apply this formula. And then another question was given, write an algorithm to calculate simple interest for that program, and write an algorithm to find the largest number of the given two numbers. If two numbers are given, like declaration will be like this: integer a comma b in the program, and here start, step 1 start, and here we have to input two numbers. We have to identify, we have to check with the conditions of if a greater than b, we will give as a is biggest, then we will give as b greater than a, then we will give as b is biggest. We will identify, we are going to identify the biggest number among the given two numbers. For the given two numbers, what was the biggest number that we are going to identify in this algorithm. And the last example I gave, write an algorithm to find the sum of first 10 natural numbers. We have natural numbers. From that first 10 natural numbers, sum we are going to identify. So that will be done in the algorithmic approach or a specific algorithm. Then another concept of introduction to C language. In introduction to C language, one more concept we have, that's about the flow chart. Flow chart is a representation of the algorithm. Which type of representation means? It is one type of diagrammatic representation. It will be written in the form of diagrams. Some diagrams are there, some symbols are there. Okay, that we'll discuss in upcoming slide, next slide. So a flow chart will be very helpful for writing the program. To understand what type of mechanism is going on inside the program, flow chart. Flow chart is a diagrammatic approach. There we can identify, we can analysis that how the program code is happening, that we can get a information related to the flow chart. And different symbols, different types of flow chart symbols that can be used in the flow chart. Here you see the screen. In these two slides, there are different types of flow chart symbols are there, like a terminal symbol, flow line symbol, input and output symbol, processing symbol, decision symbol. This was the decision symbol where it identified true and false. It is used to identify true and false. Then we have a connector. Then we have off page connector. Connector is there and off page connector is there. Then we have predefined process and other type of symbol. These are all symbols which are helpful, which are help us to develop the flow chart. Algorithm, flow chart. These two are the basic notations. Before going to develop a program, a student must and should aware about the algorithms and flow charts. Then he can understand the program code. Okay, so that's the information related to introduction to C programming concept. So this is about the introduction part of C program. I hope you understood. Thank you.